Okay, so last year we did the MacBook M1 Air long-term review, and since then we have had the Mac Mini, M1 iMac, a lot of Apple devices. Since our main work, video editing depends on it. And ever since M1 MacBook Air, MacBooks have become affordable, so now everyone wants to buy a MacBook, even Windows users. So to give you guys a clear idea and just to see how good is the entire MacBook system, I as a forever Windows user shifted to the M2 MacBook Air for the first time in my life. But before we get to that awesome video, here's a quick word from our sponsor, Surfshark VPN. Now, fair thing, we were using Surfshark VPN before they even approached us for the video. Anywhere that you browse on the internet or watch videos, you are obviously being tracked. So getting a paid VPN makes sense for two particular reasons. Number one, Surfshark VPN works on all websites seamlessly with good privacy, and you can even unlock content from other parts of the world that are not available in India on Netflix and other OTT apps. Here's a good video for that. Number two, Surfshark VPN starts with as less as 130 rupees per month, and you have unlimited device access, so you can share your Surfshark VPN with your friends and family. Now, Surfshark VPN partnered with us, and for Team TW, you get 83% off and 3 months extra if you sign up at surfshark.deal/TechWiser. Use promo code TechWiser for 83% off and 3 months extra. Also, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no harm in trying. First of all, right now, we bought the MacBook Air M2 for around 97,000 rupees, but the usual price of MacBook Air M2 is around 1.1 lakh. And the older M1 MacBook Air is selling for roughly 85,000. So there's like a solid 17 to 20,000 rupees difference. And in that amount, the only visible upgrade you get over MacBook M2 Air is this new midnight black color and this notch. I always have the feeling that there's an eye in that notch that stares right back at me. Anyways, in the box, you get the MacBook, a 30-watt Type-C adapter, a new MagSafe cable. Now, a quick tip, if you buy the base variant, you will get this tiny 30-watt adapter. If you buy the higher variant, you will get a 35-watt dual USB-C adapter, or you can ask for 67-watt USB-C adapter. Now, the entire time I used Type-C to charge this laptop because I have a 67-watt adapter at home, and that can charge this laptop 50% in just 30 minutes. With this 30-watt adapter, the same 50% takes 1 hour. Now, I feel a laptop worth 1 lakh rupees, you should get the fastest charger in the box, but yeah, Apple thinks. Also, you get these black Apple stickers, so maybe you can make a couple of things in your house have the Apple logo. I kid you not, once I saw these Apple stickers on a Tata Sumo. Now, with the MacBook Pro lineup in 2021, Apple switched to this new or old MagSafe port to charge, which is quick. Now, a good thing is, if you charge via the MagSafe port, you have 2 USB-C ports empty, which is, come on, like all pen drive accessories and USB dongles are USB-A ports still, and even if you have to use USB-C dongle, it's fine. But see, these USB-C ports are so close to each other, if I want to put 2 USB dongles at the same time, there's no space. And now you'd be like, Pratik, come on. Well, this is my previous laptop, Realme laptop, 50,000 rupees. Ample space between USB-C ports, and you can easily slide in dongles at both the ports at the same time. Also, now the MacBook Air M2 is evenly thick all around rather than being sharp like MacBook Air M1. Feels a bit easy, or overall carrying it around. I like this new form factor over the older MacBook Air M1. Now it's been 2 weeks, and how do I put it? It's been a workaround. Like, some things don't happen on MacBook natively. Like, there's no inbuilt clipboard manager, which Windows natively has. Plus, if you open 2 to 3 Chrome windows, you cannot switch between them by doing Alt-Tab. You have to do Alt-Backtick. But there are some good features on macOS as well. Like all calculations, dollar conversions, you can do just by hitting Alt space. Done, without the internet. If you want to quickly preview a photo, video, or PDF, you can just select it and hit spacebar. In fact, to view a PPT or Word file, I don't even need to download any third-party app. It just previews it right out of the box. Now, the notch initially was a bit annoying, and here's the fun part. See, the cursor can go behind the notch. In fact, you can even drag a file and take it behind the notch. Visually, that's a bug in my opinion. The area of the notch should actually be skipped. But after 2 weeks, you can easily ignore the notch. One problem that I faced was very unique. Like, see, if I open Photoshop and then I open 2 to 3 Chrome windows with 5 to 6 tabs, I've just opened some files in Photoshop. Now, when I do this Alt switch, it won't switch to all the Chrome windows. It will just remove those windows from the RAM and ignore. Then you'll have to right click on Chrome here and then select, and now you can see your Chrome tabs open. This was very weird. Usually windows are reloaded or refreshed. Here macOS just ignores it, so I felt the RAM issue once in a while using the MacBook M2 Air. Now this is probably the third or fourth week and I must say I'm enjoying using the MacBook. Like first of all, the battery backup is ridiculously great. Like all the Windows laptop that I have used, this has the best battery backup. In normal multitasking, browsing the web, watching movies, I would easily get 10 to 12 hours, even more. In terms of display, side by side, the M2 Air feels slightly brighter, but most of the time both displays look the same. You won't find a difference. The only thing is, this color is prone to fingerprints. Like even if my laptop is lying far away on the table, I can see that. Plus, I think this is a problem with this particular color. Like plugging in and out of the USB-C ports have caused the paint to chip and it has started to become grey over here. Now, my work requires using Photoshop, a bit of graphical layers. So all of this Photoshop work is split-second heavy task. It easily manages multiple layers and graphics, easy peasy. But how much is the M2 better than M1? So we took a TechWiser full-fledged video all in 4K, heavily edited and color graded. We kept it on render on M1 MacBook Air, M2 MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. Now MacBook M1 Pro was the clear winner, but there was only 13-second difference between M2 Air and M1 Air, which was surprising to me because on paper, MacBook M2 Air has 18% faster CPU and 35% faster GPU. But here's the hidden part. The 256GB variant on the MacBook Air M2 has a slower SSD. How much slower? About half as slow as M1 Air. Now in day-to-day tasks, you don't feel that slow SSD difference. But if you do heavy tasks, and of course, the MacBook Air is not built for heavy tasks. Now the wake-up time is still faster than any Windows laptop I've seen. Although this has happened to me a couple of times, the display just bugged out. So I was trying to press buttons, move the trackpad, the display won't light up at all. Also on the M2 MacBook Air, you cannot see the speakers, like see? Clean. So Apple has carefully placed the speakers here at the hinge. Also now you get a 1080p webcam, which is really good for that occasional video calls or even long meetings. So finally, will I go back to Windows? Well, hell yeah. But more importantly, should you buy the M2 MacBook Air? See, a lot of times you get the MacBook M1 Air for a discount of around 70,000 rupees. At that price, get the MacBook M1 Air. But if you're thinking of paying 90,000 for the older M1 MacBook Air, pay some more and get the latest MacBook M2 Air. And this is an Air. It's not meant for heavy continuous video editing. For heavier tasks like video editing, illustration, 3D designing and all of that, I would recommend getting the new M2 Pro Mac Mini. It costs 1.3 lakh, but you get 16GB RAM and 512GB storage. You'll have to buy a good monitor separately. And you'll be like, nah Pratik, I want a laptop. Well, the 14-inch MacBook Pro is the deal for you. It costs somewhere around 2 lakh rupees, but that's the absolute best. This video took a lot of effort, so give it a thumbs up. On that note, this is Pratik signing off. See you in the next video. Pew, pew. Pew, pew.